Perfect, thank you for that. So next one is now Jasmine. She's been touring the UK. She's given speeches absolutely everywhere, from Glasgow, Bristol. She's also, I interviewed her for my documentary that I'm doing for Voice of Wales, The True Pandemic, where I explore the kind of detrimental impact this has on children's mental health. So Jasmine, would you like to come up here? Everyone give her a large round of applause.
Hello everyone, it's nice to see you all.
Yeah, so speaking to this part here. Yeah. A bit higher, no, a bit higher like that. Yeah, there, like that.
When began in 2020, I never would have thought that 2 years later I would be stood outside the place where it all began giving a speech. This is where the professor projected the most outlandish computer models of millions dying in the UK from This data was then used to bring in the What? What an embarrassment Neil Ferguson must be today to the not-so-Imperial College of London. By the way, have you noticed how has almost completely disappeared off of the news channels? Actually, I don't find it that surprising, because they about 70% of the UK population at least twice. And so that 70% will very easily affect the other 30%, as indeed they are. Come to think of it, how many people did you know back in 2020 before the rolled out who had? Just think about that. How many did you know in 2020 who had? I never knew of anyone, and no one I knew anyone who had. And then the came out, and suddenly everyone gets. By now, everybody knows somebody who has been infected by the. In 1994, there was a meeting held in Cairo, Egypt. It was a World Population Summit. At that meeting, 160 nations agreed there were too many people living on planet Earth and started to make plans to introduce man-made in order to reduce the world's population from 7 billion down to 800 million by the year 2030. They were planning on releasing man-made to begin around the year 2017-18 in order to kill millions of people. So I guess they got a couple of years behind with their plans. But with governments around the world now the masses with a highly toxic snake oil, I think it's safe to say we are living in those days of depopulation spoke of in 1994. Anyways, I could stand here talking for hours about how thousands, if not millions of people worldwide are being murdered by the I now personally know of 2 people, but let's not get stuck in that. Let's do what our governments like to do, and let's move on to the next phase. We now have this grotesque human being who is out to kill as many people as he possibly can. He's committing crimes against humanity on a daily basis. Neo-Nazis and is intent on controlling the biolabs in the Ukraine and to kill as many innocent people as possible.
Excuse me, are you talking about Putin?
Putin? No, of course not. I'm on about Klaus Schwab. All roads lead back to the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab. The Great Reset, the agenda, the destruction of the economy, the genocide, the neo-Nazis in Ukraine, and even our future. Klaus Schwab makes me think of a villain in a James Bond movie, holding the world to ransom with a being his weapon of bribery. Obviously, he is not alone in this. He has his chums such as George Soros, Bill Gates, the WHO, and even the UN. Klaus Schwab has his puppets already installed in most Western governments. Just to name a few of his puppets, we have Justin Trudeau of Canada, and half of his cabinet has been affected with the Klaus Schwab disease, as has Jacinda Ardern of New Zealand and Angela Merkel of Germany, and there is also Macron of France. All of these so-called leaders are puppets, and none of them have the best interests of their people at heart. These people were not elected into power, they were selected by the World Economic Forum to facilitate the transition from old normal to the new world order. I don't want you to underestimate Klaus Schwab. He is insane and intent on destroying our dreams and our futures. There has never been a moment in human history